When she first arrived, Evelyn Ward thought the building was perfect, tall, narrow, the kind of architecture that whispered stories from another century. It stood on the corner of Ashmere Street, its windows always dimly lit, as if time itself had grown tired of entering. She had been searching for somewhere quiet, somewhere forgotten. After her sister's disappearance 6 months ago, silence had become her only form of peace. The landlady, Mrs. Dalloway, an old woman with eyes like cracked glass, showed her the apartment on the 5th floor. "Don't go higher," she said, in a voice that sounded both polite and warning. Evelyn frowned. "There's a 6th floor, isn't there?" Mrs. Dalloway's lips pressed together. There was. The elevator had a button for the 6th floor, but it was taped over with black electrical tape. Every other tenant she met avoided talking about it. When she asked about the top floor, they'd change the subject or simply smile as if she had made a joke. Didn't he understand? The first night, Evelyn dreamed of footsteps above her ceiling, slow, deliberate, pacing back and forth. When she woke, the sound was still there. Days turned into weeks. The footsteps never stopped. Sometimes she'd hear a faint humming, like a lullaby sung by someone who'd forgotten the words. Other nights, it was the creak of furniture, moving chairs dragged across a floor, a door opening, and then closing again. When she finally asked Mr. N, the quiet man who lived next door, he avoided her gaze. "Nobody lives up there," he muttered. "That floor's been closed since the fire." "What fire?" He didn't answer. Later that day, she searched online for any mention of a fire on Ashmere Street. Nothing. No record, no photos, no reports. It was as if the building had been erased from history. One evening, during a thunderstorm, the lights flickered. For a brief moment, the elevator button for the 6th floor glowed red beneath the tape. Evelyn's breath caught. The hum above her ceiling began again, lowered this time, as if whoever was up there knew she had seen it. Curiosity turned into obsession. She tried talking herself out of it, but the noise wouldn't stop, so she peeled off the tape. When she pressed the button, the elevator shuddered, groaning like a creature waking from a long sleep. The doors slid shut and began to rise. The numbers flickered, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then -6. The doors opened to darkness. A cold draft brushed against her skin. The hallway was covered in dust, as if untouched for decades. Wallpaper peeled like dried skin. The smell was heavy, metallic blood mixed with burnt wood. Evelyn stepped out. Her flashlight beam caught the outline of something written on the wall in faded red paint. "The ones who listen never leave." She froze. From the far end of the corridor came a faint sound, a click, followed by soft, dragging footsteps. A figure appeared, teen and pale, its hair hanging in wet strands. It moved slowly, barefoot, its head tilting side to side, as though listening for something. "Hello," Evelyn whispered. The figure stopped. Then she heard it the same humming she'd been hearing at night. The melody came from it. The air grew colder. Her flashlight flickered, and for a split second, the light revealed faces in the walls, dozens of them, pressed beneath the wallpaper, their mouths open in silent screams. Evelyn stumbled backward toward the elevator, slamming the button again and again. The doors wouldn't close. Behind her, the figure spoke in a trembling whisper that seemed to come from everywhere at once. "You heard us. Now you belong here too." A hand, cold, small, and impossibly strong, grabbed her wrist. Evelyn screamed. When the elevator doors finally opened on the 5th floor, she collapsed into the hallway. Her wrist burned with frostbite where the hand had touched her. The hallway was empty. Her neighbors' doors were shut tight. No one came out. No one asked. The next morning, the black tape had returned over the elevator button. But now, beneath it, she could see faint scratches in the metal, a single word carved by something sharp. Helba. Evelyn packed her bags that day, determined to leave. But when she reached the lobby, Mrs. Dalloway stood by the door, smiling. "Leaving already?" "Yes," Evelyn said. "There's something wrong with this place." The old woman's eyes softened. "Oh, my dear, you should have listened." Evelyn frowned. Listened to what? Mrs. Dalloway's smile widened. To them? The elevator dinged softly behind her. The doors opened on their own. The button for the 6th floor glowed faintly red, pulsing like a heartbeat. A week later, a new tenant moved into apartment 5B. A quiet man with tired eyes named Jonas Val. When he asked about the noise above his ceiling, Mrs. Dalloway shook her head and smiled. It's just the building settling, dear. Don't worry. The top floor has been closed for years. That night, Jonas woke to the sound of footsteps above him, and in the faint flicker of his bedside lamp, he noticed something scratched into the wall above his bed. Faint, almost invisible. The top floor was locked.